First and foremost, my name is Wakili Dunstan Omari. I'm not addressing accountants. I'm addressing potential customers or clients who are supposed to be in my office today. One, as people intending to buy property. Two, as people intending to sell property. Three, as people the DC has arrested and has intending to charge them for having flouted some accounting procedures. Now, when I look at those three angles, let us start with the concept of property. What is really property? Your grandparents defined property from numbers of wives, numbers of cows. The concept of property is dramatically changing. Today, we have a new concept of property. CPA, my boss has said, there are sectional properties. So the dynamism of property is so fast that the law is not able to catch up what is defined as property. But fundamentally what remains a constant is that there will be somebody interested to buy and somebody interested to sell. That is a constant that does not go far. When we are talking of buying, and that is why I said, I'm seeing potential buyers. For land, do you have a land that is available to be bought? 90% of what people are buying is hot air. But they have some documents they call ownership documents. Let me give you around 6 documents that don't give you entitlement to land. 1, a sale agreement is not a document to confirm that that is your land. That is only a transactional document. And that document, whenever any buyer has it, it must be registered by the lands registry. If it is not registered, that sale agreement, sometimes the courts reject it. 2, allotment letters. Many people are buying land based on an allotment letter. That is an invitation to treat, which means it is only telling you we are locating this subject to some conditions to be complied. So when people buy land that is an allotment letter, they will always be saying they have bought land. 3rd, a share certificate. You go to Nyakinywa, you go to Embakazi Ranching, you go to everywhere, you buy land and you are told, we give you a share certificate. The law does not know those things. Those are papers that are there to massage your ego that you own property. 4th, a title deed that you are being shown. That title deed is not conclusive that that is your land. What is important is not the title deed. It is the records held by the land registry. That's why you go to court and you find 4 or 5 people producing title deeds, all of them generated by the land registry. So, how then do you know that this land is available to be bought? You must do what is called a historical search of a property. A historical search gives you how this land started from the first registration in 1902 when the Muzungu came in. So if this land is, you are looking at the historical search, you know the man or the woman selling to you this land, whether he bought the land, he inherited the land, he was given as a gift, or he fraudulently transferred the land. So the root search is very critical for accountants who have turned now to be my clients in my office. Then the question that moves further after the root search, what other document do you need? Everybody here has a search that tells you on 5th of January, the land was registered in Dunstan Omari. But that search comes out from a document called a green card. Land registrars, I'm not trying to imply wrong motives to my colleagues, who many of them are advocates. Land registries, you'll get a green card over one portion of land, 5 to 6 green cards. When you come for a specific search, there's a clerk who puts in a green card that reads Omari as the owner. As you leave, they remove that fake green card, put the actual green card that says the land belongs to Joy Gituma. So the question is, don't go for one green card, don't go for a search, go for a total green card. Certified copies of a green card. That one, you will always produce it in court. So that is the first error, that the lands we have, that land does not belong to us. Number 2, there are what you call the leases. When you are getting a lease, what is the duration of that lease? If you are a foreigner, you'll never get a titled certificate of title. You'll get a certificate of lease for a duration of not more than 99 years. That certificate of lease is subject to one thing that most accountants and most of my clients I'm seeing here are not knowing: the remainder of the term of lease. Most leases, and by law, by the Constitution, are supposed to be 99 years. You go buying mortgages, you go buying sectional properties, apartments all over. Then those guys are telling you, we have a lease. You buy hoping that you'll have a lease of 70, 80 years. The owners of the property are not telling you the remainder of the term of the lease is 4 years. Once you buy that property, after 4 years, the lease expires. The county government or the national government will repossess that land. You apply for renewal, they refuse, they do not renew. Have you bought any property? You've not bought any property. So that is another issue. Third, mortgages, for example, in sectional property, because that is where now all of us are heading to, buying apartments, you are supposed to be given a sectional title, what is called that the title for that sectional property, that apartment on the 30th floor of that apartment. But do you have a title called the mother title? The mother title is the one that is holding the land. You know Abunwazi's story, where Abunwazi built a house and sold somebody and told him, you either pay me more money or me, I'm moving with my land. Hold on your hand, your kanyumba hapo juu, very hard. We are there now. Mother titles to those apartments, the Chinese have taken loans. They are not there. Out of the properties that have titles, sectional property titles, almost 5% only have titles. The majority, the mother titles, are in the banks. The money that came from the banks are the ones that was used to build. As a buyer, ask for the mother title, confirm whether it is charged in a bank, or else you'll have no property to call property. Lastly, the question about succession. Succession, you can never buy land or any property unless succession has been done. Many of you have bought land from children of the deceased, and they are telling you, si mimi ni mtoto mnajua, Omari was an advocate, my name is Elkanah, I'm his son, I can sell you this land. When succession ends, I'll give you a title deed. Courts will not entertain you in a succession court because you have no blood. Therefore, if you buy land that a grant has not been confirmed from succession, you have bought a paper. You are both what we call no title. My friend, the KRA guy, we have no war with him. Whether you have no land, whether you are carrying hot air, whether you are carrying a paper, the taxman will collect tax. That is by the law. Whether it is an act of criminal act, the taxman must collect tax when you are alive. When you are dead, the taxman must collect tax before the estate goes to the children. So, how do we avoid the taxman collecting what is not ours? Is purely by doing proper due diligence, getting proper lawyers to do transactions, confirming that the property that you are putting your money in is a property available in the market. My brother from Unclaimed Assets has told us he needs our money. He needs our money when we are dead, because he will not get our money when we are alive. How do we manage the properties after we are dead? Instruments are available for you. Wills are now challenged. We have moved away from advising clients to deal with wills because they are challenged in court. We are dealing with trusts. How do you ensure the properties that you have worked for hard as an accountant is well protected to go back to your children when you are dead? Can you manage your property now, or it will go to the probate or to the Unclaimed Assets Authority? When it goes to the Unclaimed Assets Authority, the Unclaimed Assets Authority will lend the Kenyan government that money to build roads. Your children will not be going to school because they might not be knowing that you have those assets. So the legal instruments of your properties, transitional documents to push your property from you to your next generation, is a very, very critical issue. The next generation is about the question about our daughters. The law now guarantees equal distribution of the property between children of a deceased, whether the daughters are married or not married. The customs are no longer part and parcel of this law. So if you know that, and you're doing a trust, and you're doing a will, and you're using where I come from in Kisii, you're saying girls will be married, Rono and Rono case will tell you whether married or not married, they are entitled to equal property. Lastly, those who are present, my take is you will say you own nothing. That what you are wearing is property to be dealt with. It must be bought. That what you are using is property to be used with. Your M-Pesa balance, the Unclaimed Assets Authority, Mr. Rono could have told you the largest amount of money they have as unclaimed are the balances that when you get a road accident and you die, you have 10,000 in your M-Pesa. Who knows your PIN? You keep it as top secret. So that money, the 10,000 times all the Kenyans who die, go to the Unclaimed Assets Authority because nobody knows those. Can we be open and accept that the property we acquire is a property that we shall live here? That property we shall not go with it. When we die, that property needs to move from us to the next generation. And can we agree that property is not property by appearance? If you have bought land, government land, that's not property. Riparian land, that's not property. If you have bought community land from the Maasais and somebody has told you he'll give you that land, that's not property. If you're in the slum and the chief has given you land and he has cheated you that is property, that is not land. If a politician allocates you land in a slum area, you are hoping that is land, That is not land. What is property? The answer is simple. That which the law has recognized that it is property in the proper hands of the owner, that is the only property you can buy. But if you are a speculator, then you lose whatever hard-earned cash that you have done. All of you are working for your principals, the Kenya government, the parastatals, you are working for individual companies, you are working for entities. Have you ever thought that you have a duty to work for yourself as a potential owner of property? Because without property, you have no dignity. Human dignity is defined by what you own minus what you own. My brother, if today I say I own 100 million shillings, my girlfriend will want to see me. If I say I've gone bankrupt, she has no business to see me. What does that analogy tell you? Your value is what you own. Your value is what you own. And what you own is not what is speculative. It must be known by law. It must be established by law. It must be authenticated and validated by law. Anything outside that regime is not property. Those are what we say nostalgic possessions. You own it because you want people to think you are the big boy in town. Wakili Dunstan Omari will answer all the questions that come to you. My notes will be there, but on this one, I decided to change the topic. I'm sorry, the moderator, that I went off. I hope I've kept time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Wakili.